What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to What Did You Bring on Your Birthday Trip, Uncle TLTG, the show. So, you know, we always do this whenever I go anywhere. We end up coming to Biloxi, as we usually do for my birthday. Let the wife set a little bit of money on fire, and I'll hang out and work out and all that good stuff. Because not really a gambler all that much. Not anymore anyways, but I always bring some cool shit with me. And we got a couple of things. One I haven't opened yet, technically two, and I got one that was sent to me that I don't know who sent it to me. You're going to be shocked what it is. So let's look at the 4 fragrances that I brought on the trip, shall we? Stay tuned. So first things first, it's been nice and cool. Now, not all 4 of these fragrances will get worn. Because it's Wednesday recording this, we got Thursday, and then we're traveling back home Friday. We got here yesterday. So I got 4 fragrances. I wore, what did I wear yesterday? Which I didn't bring with me. I sprayed it and left it. What did I wear yesterday? Why am I drawing a blank? Oh, Spectrum Chill. The newest one, Bellhop. As soon as we get out, start loading the cart up with my stuff, I stand up, I look, he's like, hey, I know who you are. I like Cologne. So naturally we start talking fragrance the whole way to the room and everything. So shout outs to John Carlo. It was a pleasure to talk to him. That happens actually a lot when I come to Biloxi at the casinos. People, like, I get recognized more at casinos than I do at gyms. It's weird. It's cool. Weird and random. But Oud Tobacco from Montale. I haven't worn this one in a while. So I'm a big Pierre Montale guy. As you guys know, I've worn 2 Mancera fragrances already this week. And I'm kind of thinking this one tonight for dinner. We're debating on steakhouse. And kind of thinking this. So a little bit of the Flintstone vitamins, kind of dry smell to it in the opening. Not everybody gets that from it. I do. With a nice earthy, smoky, heavy incense. Very dry wood. Not really a funky oud. It's a very like dry wood, pencil shaving, darker oriental type of smell to everything, but very smoky fragrance, very lovely, very Middle Eastern, beautiful stuff, crazy performance. I'll probably do like 4 sprays, more than enough, because I'm being a lot of big open spaces, open areas, a lot of people. 4, maybe 5 if I'm feeling frisky, I don't know. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking this one tonight, something totally random. I knew I wanted to bring something Montale. I almost grabbed Honey Oud. And this bottle caught my eye and said, you know what, why not? It's been a long time. That's a personal favorite. So we decided, well, we as in me, and you guys, whether you liked it or not, you made the decision with me. Oud Tobacco from Montale. Might as well just keep it rolling. Why do the transition spot, right? So I wanted to bring something slightly fresher. I'm thinking this will probably be travel day back. Probably Friday I'll wear this one. Crazy performance. I mean, just ridiculous. Very salty, green, earthy. I kind of dig it, like a lot. It is Rasasi Hawas Atlantis. This is good stuff. I haven't wore it pretty much since I got it. I only wore it like 1 or 2 times when I first got it, and it's been kind of sitting there, waiting to get worn again. I almost grabbed Verde. They're right next to each other. And I said, no, let me get the nuclear one of the 2, because this is like probably one of the 3 strongest fragrances in the Hawas line. Very salty, earthy galbanum green kind of. It's almost like if Beach Hut Man got together with Mancera's Cinque Terre, maybe a little bit of Megamare even, because it's a very salty aquatic, very salty. Even a little bit of like Invictus Legend, that amber sea salt kind of smell. Like any of these like heavier salty fragrances, but with the galbanum, that green earthy brightness that you get from Beach Hut Man from Armaf. It doesn't smell like Beach Hut Man. It doesn't smell like any one of those fragrances. It kind of smells like all of them had an orgy and somehow managed to join all of their DNA to make this baby right here. How you like that vulgar thing right there, that analogy, huh? Yeah, we're rolling with it. It's what I said. And it's amazing. It's not going to be the most mass appealing of the bunch from the Hawas line, but I think it's probably the most interesting because it's kind of this amalgamation of a few different things. I wouldn't, even if it is supposed to be really similar to one specific fragrance, off the top of my head, I can't tell you exactly what that one fragrance would be. I haven't smelled every damn fragrance on the planet, but this is some good shit. They always put out good shit. They've never put out a dud, in my opinion. So I always look forward to a new Hawas flanker. So probably on travel day back, we're going to wear Hawas Atlantis. And then a lot of you saw that this has been sitting on the desk in the videos, Armaf Odyssey Lemon. Probably going to bust that open and do its own video. I think that's what I brought it for. I'll probably do this video tomorrow, do an individual on it, and kind of give it its own due. And I'm thinking the other one we got to open will do the same. This was just a Haywood that I bring. I don't really know what to expect from this one other than it being lemony fresh, I would assume. So the reason I even have this, I bought Intense French Riviera and Ombre Tonka from Mancera from overseas, from Sabina. And I had to spend another 25 bucks to get free shipping. This was like 26, 27 or something. I said, what the hell, another Armaf Odyssey fragrance, why not? I like all of the 3 or 4 of them that I have so far. I need to get more of them and review more of them. I know a lot of people like these, so hence the reason we're going to do this one on its own. Maybe the video does shit, maybe the video does okay, maybe it does really well. I don't know, but it's going to get its own video. So we'll probably open this up in the video that follows this one with Armaf Odyssey Lemon. I forgot what it's supposed to be similar to. Now this is the weird one. The shipping label said JS Shipping Department, and a lot of you are going to think Joma Shop right away. Joma Shop don't have my P.O. box. Even though the rep that I used to deal with at a different company is now handling a lot of stuff over there, he didn't have my P.O. box. They have my regular address. So as far as I know, now you know who you are if you see this and you sent this to me, text me so I know you sent it to me. But whoever sent this to me, can you please let me know? Nishane Mana. I ain't mad at it. Shit, another Nishane fragrance. Thank you, whomever. Was not expecting it. Did not have a conversation with anyone about this. I looked up the notes. It seems like earthy, sweet. Like it's Nishane. It's going to be good. I'm super excited. We're actually going to just go ahead and open this one now. I don't have my keys with me. This should be still relatively easy. Okay. Sometimes they'll be like overly glued and they're kind of a pain in the ass to bust open with your finger. I really don't know. But I mean, it doesn't matter who sent it to me. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. This ain't gonna be shit, it's Nishane. Let me tell you what I think though. Is it a 50 ml or 100 ml? I didn't look. The box is so big, I wanna assume it's 100 ml, but I really don't know. Is this the same line as Neff's? I think it is. No, this ain't cheap. That's 50 ml. See it on the back. I genuinely don't know who, how, and why I got this, but I got it, and I ain't mad. You ain't gonna never hear me complain about no free Nishane fragrance. One of my favorite houses. Yeah, this got to be the same line as Neff's. It's got the same bottle. These bottles are gorgeous. Rayhan kind of knocks them off a bit, and the Rayhan ones look cool, but this is a metal cage. This is heavy as shit, this 50 ml. Super heavy. I don't remember the notes. Well, fortunately these days I have 2 phones. So this is the one that's not connected to a line. We'll look up the notes on the S22 Ultra, the old phone. We're recording on the S25. We're doing 1080p, so it uploads rather quickly. But here we have it, Mana. The glass is actually blue, which is different. But let's see what we're working with here. I love Nishane, in case you haven't figured that out, for those of you new here. Now look, I might end up wanting to wear this to dinner tonight. I don't know. Just because I planned for Oud Tobacco doesn't mean this won't get it. Ooh, Oud. Okay, it's a Oud Rose. A lot of Oud in this one. That's what it was. Ooh, okay. Not beginner Oud. Not beginner Oud. The word, the phrase slightly fecal comes to mind. The poo smell. And someone will be like, why would you want that on you? I know, I get it. But here's where the charm comes in. Because I smell it, and I think I'm correct. If I remember correctly, there's castoreum in here, which is beaver glands. And you're like, that's more poo. What is wrong with you? There's certain oils in perfumery, animalic oils, that when blended with other notes create certain majestic accords and aromas. I know that sounds fucking weird to anybody that hasn't experienced what I'm talking about, but to those of you that have, you know what I'm talking about. You live for this kind of art in perfumery. It's not heavy on the rose. It is heavy on the castoreum and the oud. There's a sweetness kind of trying to mute down some of this. It is super animalic. This is not for a beginner. This is not for the faint of heart. This provides a challenge for somebody that's not used to castoreum and slightly more fecal oud. I'm not the biggest fan of that type of oud, but when it's done right, you know, in Nishane, they tend to do shit right. Literally, not intended, but worked out. They tend to do shit right. There we go. I like castoreum in a fragrance. I always have. I've never smelled a fragrance with castoreum that I didn't think was fantastic. Something about castoreum, that beaver gland, it smells great in fragrance. There's a very mild, tame little spice in the background. It's warm. It's a little powdery. It might get more powdery as it dries. I don't get heavy, heavy, heavy woods outside of the agar wood. It's getting better with the sniff. It's smooth. It's rich. This smells very expensive. This smells very expensive. And from discounters, I guarantee you this is over $200. From discounters for a 50 ml, I can guarantee it. In this line, because Neff's goes for like $250 to $280 from discounters for a 50 ml. This has got to be in the same realm. It's clearly the same line. This is hot upper tier Nishane. That's some good oud. I'm not the biggest oud guy, even though I did bring oud tobacco. That's a much more tame fragrance. This is a wild man like Mark Marrow. Let's pull up Parfumo. Let's see what they got. One moment, please. Nishane Mana. Prestige Collection came out in 2022. 8.4 out of 10 with 310 ratings. Very highly rated luxury fragrance. So again, this scent is a leathery oriental. I don't get tons of leather, but then again, it's super animalic, so it could just be blending in with that oud and castoreum. I'll put it on screen for you guys. Leathery, oriental, woody, spicy animal for animalic. Top notes of geranium, saffron, black pepper, cardamom, and it's not as crazy spicy as you may think. We've got Turkish rose, suede, oud, and castoreum. The castoreum is very, very distinctive. Frankincense, gaiac wood, so there's some smokiness. Benzoin, labdanum, which adds to the leathery facet with the suede accord. Moss, musk, patchouli, sandalwood. Scent 8.4, longevity 9.3, sillage 9.0, bottle 9.2, value for money 5.8, because it's expensive, you know. What is people comparing it to? Ombre Nomade is much, much sweeter than this. I can understand where they're coming from, but you get a lot more rose out of Ombre Nomade from LV. And it's also very sweet compared to this. This is not near as sweet, and I barely detect the rose. While they're in the same family, I think this blows an Ombre Nomade out the fucking water. This is just, Ombre Nomade's fantastic, I get it, but this blows it out the fucking water. It's not even close to me. Fruity rose and oud. Now I don't get a whole lot of rose here. Another language, leathery punch in the face. It's definitely some leathery. She said, I was surprised not to see civet or some other strongly animalic note in this perfume. I guess you overlooked the castoreum, ma'am. Heartsea 3 on Parfumo. I guess you overlooked the castoreum. The castoreum is what you were smelling. The Turkish Steam Hammer, the Noble Statement fragrance. Do the comparisons to LV Nomade hold true? Question mark. That's hilarious. I'll start directly with the question that most of you are surely interested in. Does the comparisons to Ombre Nomade hold true? My personal opinion is rather no, but I can understand anyone who sees that way. I agree, sir. I agree. I can understand the tie-in and the relation, but they're not the same fragrance. They are of the same style because they are oud-based. They are premiums. This is more of a premium oud, for sure. I would say the level of the quality of oil and realism and authenticity of the animalics that you're going to get here, I would go on a limb and say is higher level than higher grade and more likely natural than something like Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton doesn't use a whole lot of naturals. They use a lot of high-grade synthetics. Nishane uses a lot of high-grade synthetics too, but the Prestige line has a pretty good bit of naturals here. And this smells like a rather slightly fecal oud, and it could be playing hand in hand with the castoreum, making it smell that way to give more of that authentic smell. But either way, Yeah, this is high grade stuff. This is super impressive. This is not for everyone. This is a very rare circumstance fragrance for me. This was one of those like Black Vestigium where it's just such a rare occasion. It deserves a special situation and the right attire to wear something like this, because it's very regal, it's very upscale, it's very super enthusiast. You know, not a lot of people are going to understand this fragrance unless they're into perfume. God, it's getting better and better by the month. This is, I mean, pretty much 9.75 out of 10. This shit's almost a 10. And I can't give it a 10 because it's low level versatility. Very low, extremely low level, very situational fragrance. But from the feel, just the feeling of quality and heft in my hand alone, just holding this bottle feels premium. Everything about this is premium. This is the kind of stuff that you damn near gonna need a Brillo pad to get off your skin in the fucking shower, you know? So performance, sillage, longevity, projection, everything is gonna be astronomical. It's a less is more fragrance. This is not one to heavy spray, you psychopaths. You will scare people off with this if you heavy. You do the 10 sprays of this, that's the equivalent of doing 30 sprays of the other strong stuff you're used to spraying heavy. This is crazy talk. This is one that I can't imagine doing more than 3 sprays. And I think that's pushing it. I do think 3 sprays of this would be pushing it. This is try to leave some kind of room for discoverability because it's so strong and potent and very, very, very animalic, slightly fecal. This is not for everyone. People aren't going to think you smell like shit. I want to get that very clear because it's a slightly fecal oud that they used here. At least that's how it smells to me with castoreum, which, like I said, everybody knows beaver glands, the anal glands, right? So, but there's so much charm and artistry and beauty to the way this aroma smells. Again, anybody that's not into this type of stuff won't get it. They'll think that's crazy. And maybe the way I'm describing it is just too blunt and too straightforward. I don't know, but there is so much beauty in this bottle that I have to give it such a high grade. It deserves it. I don't know who sent it to me. Thank you 1,000 times. This is something I would have never bought because I'll wear it so rarely. So rarely. This is one that on occasion when I do the random decant swaps with my friends, which is rare these days, that I'll toss an ml or 2 their way to see what they think about this, because this is an experience for a real perfume enthusiast. This is a true olfactive experience to behold that not everybody will get, because not everybody wants to spend this kind of money on a 50 ml. Not everybody wants to spend this kind of money on a 200 ml, let alone a 50 ml, right? So again, I'd love to know who sent this to me. I don't know what their expectation was, but I'll tell you this, it didn't get an individual video. It might get worn tonight, which would show up in the weekly rotation video that follows, but it definitely got featured super high grade here today. So I'm going to link it accordingly to whatever I have available, because I don't know who was sitting in the first place. But yeah, Nishane Mana, 9.75 out of 10. This shit's special. So that's all the stuff I brought, guys, including a first impression of the most random of gifts that was sent my way with Nishane Mana, you know? Would it have been even cooler if it was Neff's? Because I love the hell out of Neff's, yes, but this is something that I may have never given a chance otherwise, and I'm actually thrilled to have had the opportunity to experience, even if I'm hardly ever going to wear it. But boy, what a point of reference for that special fragrance, that head turner, that daring, bold wear. When those topics come up, you're going to see me talk about this one. And I'm about to go to the gym in a bit with this on. So it's going to be interesting. So thank you guys for checking out the video. I'll try to have links down below for everything. Make sure to like and subscribe if you leave, and we'll see you on the next one. Oh, by the way, today specifically is my birthday. Happy 41 to me, right? Have a good one, guys.